Welcome, everyone. I'm very excited today because I'm going through all of my score sheets as I do, and I found a game all the way back from 2013. And not only that, it's, I think, the only game that I have left to annotate from the Boston area tournament of 2013. Now, I want to show you all what my rating was back in 2013 when I went to attend this tournament. But yeah, I was really I was really not the same player as I am today. Let's find it here. All right, let's bring this up here. So take a look at 2013. This was my 10th ever tournament. And I was just really, really, really getting into the game. And I guess don't look at the results of this last game, but you can look at the rating I had coming in, 1352, and the rating I had coming out. I actually was pretty disappointed in my performance this tournament. I really thought that I would do better than I did. I did start off very strong with 5 wins in a row. But then I choked a lot of games and yeah, ended up finishing 8-7. But I would say that at that point in time, I was probably, um, yeah, I was probably like 1650, 1700 strength or something. And yeah, just very motivated to get better at the game, which I still am today. It's just a lot harder too. Anyways, this is the game against Mick Barron. And yes, I said Mick Barron rather than Mike Barron because there's actually a player named Mick Barron, Barron. Some of you might know who Mike Barron is. Some of you might know who Mick Barron is. But Mike Barron is a better known name in the Scrabble world. He's made books on Scrabble. Um, I don't actually remember what any of his books are called, but yeah, he's a really cool fellow. He's actually hosting a tournament this year in 2022 in June at his residence, which he has done every single year except for COVID. And one of these years, hopefully, I'll be able to attend said tournament because it looks like a lot of fun. In any case, this is Mick Barron, and this is a very, very funny game. I have to tell you. So in 2013, um, I had a couple of I had a couple of difficult to I guess understand things that I did on my score sheets, like for analysis, because I wasn't like super um, good at analyzing games and providing myself with the best score sheets to analyze. So I'll show you my score sheet. There are a couple things that I don't do very well, but this is actually another game against Ben Harrison from the same tournament, which I did annotate, and it's not that difficult to read. It's pretty bad, but it's legible. This game though, in particular against Mick, spoilers, I guess, if you don't want to see any of the plays or any of the scores, but this is what it looks like. Red pen, first of all, which is just not good. And all of my leaves are between parentheses, which is not good. And my handwriting is horrible. And every time I put a strike, a bar into a turn, I don't know whether that's a lost challenge, whether it's an exchange, whether it's a pass. I don't actually know anything. There is one point in this game where I say what happened during the score of 0 turn. So I'm gonna assume for that the others may be challenges, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. This game isn't without phonying, so start things off with this rack of CEIMORT. And yeah, I start things off with a phony, which I don't know if I thought this was a word or not. But I played Motric, which I thought maybe I thought it was like the English equivalent of motrice, which is like mobile. But this is not a word, or maybe pertaining to Motrin or something. And I guess it's a good phony because my opponent didn't challenge. Um, the problem is, yeah, I have a bingo. And I definitely, after the game, recognized this, that I had missed a bingo and phonied. So that definitely didn't feel good. But yeah, Mortis is the bingo. I was almost there. I just, yeah, just totally blanked. So forms unacceptable word, not challenged. Um, and Mick plays Jet, keeping I don't know what. Um, so 26 to 26. So far, so good. Um, I have this rack now, and I guess if I were to look at this game now, I would probably play something like Pure um, at I3. And also, I can show you guys, by the way, I have a new feature um, for this. Motric is not valid. There you go. We can check all these words that might have weird meanings. So I might remember at certain points in the video to do that for you guys. Um, anyway, so yeah, I think I'd probably play something like Pure here. But let's see what Quackle thinks. Oh, another bingo. So I missed a bingo today too. 9 years later. Pre-human. Damn. That would have been great. But yeah, Pure comes up as the best non-bingo play here. But I didn't do that. I played the bottom play here of Now, this play is not very good. This play is a fish. By a fish, I mean a play that is has bingoing next turn in mind. So I'm trying to get a bingo down next turn. I'm trying to maximize the value of my leave. Um, and yeah, it's just too much of a sacrifice. I think something like Pure makes a lot more sense if I don't know the word prehuman. Um, maybe even Hup is fine. Take 7 extra points for similar leave. But I played okay. I thought maybe I had a good chance of bingoing. I mean, we can take a look a little bit at the simulation here and what it says. Obviously prehuman by far the best. And us, okay, so far is doing okay. I don't know. It might actually do well. I just don't think it's a great move. It's defensive, kind of. Like, if Mick doesn't have any way to hook and score a long word along the second rank, it's gonna be hard to find plays. I'm also blocking jute plays. So it's not horrendous. I guess, but it's definitely not a play I would make today. And our next turn, bingos 32% of the time, and Hup bingos a lot more. So Hup, if I really want to, I guess fish, Hup is a better fish. But yeah, scoring 13 when I can score 26 on a board like this, probably not a great idea. So yeah, I play and actually Mick plays a really, really awesome word here. It makes a great find and plays Intifada for 74. And I think, I mean, I think I knew the word at the time, but I didn't challenge. And I draw into OE, and I'm just like, OE, is there a bingo here? Let's see if I missed 3 bingos in a row. No, okay. So I only missed a double-double of Perinia, which is probably the best play here. But I keep on fishing, and I play Joe. Joe makes sense. I'm down 61. I want to create more openings on the board and try to bingo somewhere. This creates a nice lane for a 7-letter word, and I have all of these letters to play through. So definitely, if you compare Joe and Perinia, they're probably not that far apart. Perinia just scores way too well for it not to be the play. Um, but Joe actually allows me to bingo a ton. Yeah, almost 50% at first glance next turn, which is very nice for especially for a leave that doesn't even contain an S or a blank. That's pretty good. But Perinia just scores too well. So that's another miss. And I'm not gonna bother to like notate all my mistakes in this game because it's probably gonna be a mistake like every single turn. So here, this is speaking of which, I draw into the word perineum, and so I missed perineum for the second time in a row, and I play a Purient, which is not much worse, but it's definitely worse. Um, of course, the pitfall of perineum is that it takes an L hook, and I don't obviously he has first shot at that L hook. No L's have been played yet, so the likelihood he has an L is pretty high. Um, but a Purient, just you don't have to have an L, you just have to have a scoring tile, and you can just crush me on this first rank, and it scores 4 fewer. So Perinia again the play, 2 turns in a row. But I saw a Purient, which is pretty good. Um, pretty happy with that find for 2013. Mick plays a maze, and I draw into a blank, and 2 S's. Now again, there could be bingos here. Let's see if I missed something. No bingos. All right. So Upas looks very nice. SAU looks very nice. Gas and SAG look pretty good. And Gussie. Okay, these all look pretty good. I played SAG. I think maybe today I would play. I'm not really sure. Maybe I would play SAG or Gas. Probably SAG because maybe not. This is a big spot. Oh, and I should change the dictionary. Oh no, it's right. TWL06. So back then, GI wasn't a word, so this is pretty defensive. You need an O to make a big play here. So it's not that big of a deal. And yeah, the G sucks, so I might play SAG today. But I think Upas is probably a bit stronger. Constant to vowel ratio is better, and gets rid of the U as well. So maybe Upas is the play. But I play SAG, not a terrible play. Um, and Mick plays Devote to the E that I opened earlier. So he's scoring very, very well after his bingo, which is what you want to do. And I draw a W to go with my U and fail to find a bingo again. But I might have had a bingo here as well. Let's see. Nothing. Okay. So instead of playing War here, I actually played War for 12 fewer points, which can't be right. You have to take the points here, even though you're keeping the U again. But I was definitely a fishier player back then. I really like to keep those bingo leaves um, a lot more than normal, than I guess than you're supposed to, I think. So War, not much worse, I would say, but we can give it a little simulation. 12 points is definitely a huge amount of points for just a U. And yeah, I think I probably just missed the spot if I had to be blunt, or not blunt, but serious, or I don't know, truthful. Anyways, Mick exchanges 3. This is the only time I know what happened on a turn of 0 score. And I draw into a bingo that I find finally of Drifters. So Drifters comes down for 86. It's the highest scoring bingo. Good job, me. And Mick loses his turn. I know that he has this rack from next turn, or I don't know. Maybe he exchanged again. I don't think he challenged Drifters. He might have played like Veilings or something. Yeah, it's possible that he played like Veilings. That seems to actually ring a bell. It's possible that's what he did, but this is 9 years ago, so I don't actually know what he did. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think I timed myself there, but I've been trying to figure out what is going on in this game for probably a half an hour. Okay. I'm really excited because I finally figured out what happened. Um, okay, where do I start? I'm so giddy right now. Sometimes I find games online that I haven't posted, and I just don't know why. And I feel like the first thing that comes to mind is I just missed it and just like forgot to look through a game. But more often than not, it's not that I missed it because I am a perfectionist and I am like sort of OCD about these things. The reason that certain games are not posted is because when I try to go through the games, I hit a bump. And sometimes that bump is insurmountable. I can't figure out what happened. Now I finally figured out what happened this game, and you can see on the board DOL. Okay, so this was the problem. I was mentioning this at the beginning of the video. Sometimes I would make notation mistakes when I was younger, and not not as I guess not as sharp in the ways of notating games as I am now. And I actually put after this play of Drifters, and you can already see a couple plays are in here. After this play of Drifters, I put a pass, and where I left you guys was like, wait, where did I play D Bones? How is that possible? Now, this is what it says on my score sheet. Let's see. There you go. It says exchange 3 and then something 0. And then it gives 80 points for sailings for 295, which doesn't make sense because it's 214. It should be 294. Now, so not only did I make a math mistake there, then after KI, it says 327. But then it switches to 330. Or sorry, 332. There's like, I wrote over 327 to put 332, and then Creed scores 27, brings to 359. So that means there was a score discrepancy that we went through, me and my opponent Mick, and I had made a mistake. I had put him as scoring 0 on his turn after his exchange, and it's possible that he was considering exchanging, like maybe put a letter down on the table before hitting his clock, and I already like maybe I just like hastily wrote nothing. He's exchanging again, great. He's scoring 0 again, great, or something. But that's not what happened. And he actually played, I'm almost certain of it now, DOL for 6. And this was the play that puts everything else together in the game. So apologies for all of the delays, but this is great. This is amazing for me that I finally figured out what went wrong here. So DOL was played, and this is how I played D Bones. He was maybe considering something else, but I got really excited. Maybe he wasn't even considering something else. I just got really excited when he gave me a spot for D Bones. And so I play D Bones and Doles for 75. And he plays Sailings. And I challenge Sailings. I'm almost certain that's what I did. But maybe I phonied. But again, I have a score of 0. But don't worry, there's yeah, there's a bunch of plays here that I think I missed. I don't actually know if the G was my last tile. I think that's what it was. But I ended up playing U here, which probably isn't a very good play. But yeah, maybe I phonied the turn before. I'm not really sure. But actually, sorry, I didn't play U. I passed. I challenged Sailings. I said that, right? Okay. He plays KI, and this is another thing where I was like, what the hell? How could he have played KI for 32? Because Dole didn't exist, so Ido is not a word. And D-Bones, like, none of this made any sense. 32 as well as, like, where he could have played KI. So I had assumed that there was a math mistake and a notation mistake, and that he had played KA until I figured out what was wrong. So KI comes down. and this is where I play U. Um, and this is where he plays Creed, and this is where I play QI, keeping PHLLG. PH makes the F sound. So I dropped my Q, and this is a really close game now, right? I'm up 18, and he drops EAU, bow for 8. Another thing where I was like, how could that be possible? And the thing that led me finally to figuring out how in the world I played my next play was that it had to be in this exact part of the board. The A had to be here for me to make the play that I made on this turn. And so I was like, okay, if the A is here, then doesn't Bo have to be here? And if Bo has to be here, D Bones has to be here. But that's like out in space. Oh my God. And at the end of the game, I was like, there's an I and an L unaccounted for here. What is happening? And I realized that this is what happened. He played DOL and then he played Idle and he played Bow here. And here with 6 tiles in the bag, I made my second phony of the game, or maybe third. I don't know if I phonied earlier, and I just showed myself scoring 0. And I make this play of Hapang, and I do not know if I knew that this was not a valid word or if I imagined it wasn't valid, but it seemed like I think I just felt I would get away with it no matter what because of how tough the position was. But I think now that I think about this, this could have just been an easily game losing phony because I'm up 10 points and I'll be up 42 points with 1 in the bag. So Mick probably needs to challenge. But he didn't challenge, which is extremely lucky for me. This Hapang does look like a couple of other words. But I guess since I got away with the phony 6 earlier, I don't even know if that was on purpose either. I felt I could get away with another phony 6. And then Mick plays Evite. And we're in the end game. And I have this rack, and all I need to do is play X for 27. Best play wins the game just. And he plays Ono for 15 and loses by 12 points. So extremely tense stuff. Sadly, the game was cut in two. My commentary was cut in two because I literally had no clue what happened this game. And that is why this game wasn't annotated. It's not because I didn't have it or I failed to look through it. I would have wanted to do that for sure. So I think what really happened is I was at a standstill after my play of Drifters because I couldn't figure out how I could play D-Bones. But it's so great. Oh man, you guys have no idea how good it feels to not only finish annotating this entire tournament. This is the last game in the tournament that I needed to annotate from 9 years ago, but it also feels good to know that I surpassed my ability just by working at it. I surpassed my 9-year-old ability to figure out what happened in a game where I did not notate properly. But man, is it difficult sometimes. I think I already have a game in the series where it doesn't make sense. And I think I just re-annotated the game, figuring out what happened. Or maybe it was within the video that I was like, no, this is wrong. This is what happened. Anyways, all that being said, thanks for watching, guys. And this, I don't know if I have any 2013 games on this fresh pile, but I definitely have more 2013 games that I haven't annotated that I found recently, not in my apartment, but actually at my parents' house from when I was actually living at home. Because in 2013 I was living at home, so I have a ton of score sheets from that era, just sitting in a box waiting for me to bring it back here. So I'm looking forward to sharing some of those games with you guys. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.